I do recognize that for a lot of young people, especially, because it's when you're young, it's hard to be able to differentiate, like you said, between fact and fiction.
Hmm.
What's real and what's not? What's opinion, right? And what's expert,
Yes.
right? We got a lot of that going on right now. A lot of people, actually, let me make that point again.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opinion people, people who present their opinion as fact, that's
Mm.
overshadowing people who are actually experts in their fields.
Yeah.
Like that's a real thing. And for young people, and I get it, because when you're young, you just don't know any better. It's
Hmm.
hard to learn to differentiate that unless somebody has actually taught you how to do that, right? But back to the music though. Even when you talk about hip hop, so and again, I'm pretty well versed in it. So I'll use a recent example of a body of work that I think is great because of what it provided to the community.
I love
Kendrick
it.
Lamar's last album,
Ooh, yep.
right? That was real.
Vulnerability. He's
his
literally
his
just
his
shows.
vulnerability was spot on. You could tell the brother has been going to therapy. He just laid his soul out there, and I appreciate you, man, for everything that
Hmm.
he put out there. As compared to some of these other, like maybe younger hip hop artists, where I would say it's more of the facade that a lot of us are used to. It's like money, women, items, clothes,
Yeah, items.
chains, cars, whatever. It's a lifestyle, right? And I don't hate on the lifestyle. Like, do you? If that's really you and you really about it, do you? But for a lot of people, that's unrealistic. For a lot of people, what also comes with that can be destructive if you don't understand what's really being said, right? So if you're glorifying like drug dealing or abusing women or committing illegal acts to make money, I'm not gonna co-sign that because
Mhm.
that's not what we want. Now, there's a lot of I will say there's a lot of guys who talk about that's what they did. They don't do it no
Mhm.
more, right? I think that that's okay. Like we're allowed to grow and evolve. Sometimes we just broad brush people because they say, "Oh, you did something bad, so therefore you are bad forever." You know,
Mhm.
I'm especially being a therapist. I believe a bit more nuance to the for a strong degree. So I don't demonize all those artists who do that, but for
Mhm.
the ones, for example, who talk about gang life and again committing these illegal acts in the present when they don't have to, that to me doesn't make sense. Because now you're influencing young people to think that that's a great way to behave, right? Or getting catching charges, going to jail, even after you've made it. Like that just
Mhm.
doesn't make sense. It's not a good strategy. You wouldn't tell somebody go to school, go get a finance degree, go work on Wall Street, and then go kill somebody. Like that doesn't make sense. Like you made
Mhm.
it, you got it out of your environment, you're doing well for yourself. Why would you go back and compromise everything that you worked hard for? Literally doesn't make sense. All hip hop artists don't do that, but some do.
Mhm.
And those, I would agree. I think that kind of stuff, we don't need to have a place for that because it doesn't help us grow and evolve as a people. I don't know if you want to add
No,
anything to
I
it.
agree. I myself, like very much like you. I love many kinds of music. I'm bilingual, so I listen to a lot of different kinds of music. But I would say that rap and hip hop are some of my favorite genres.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up listening, like especially when I was in college, to a lot of like really hardcore rap, all of this, um, all of this stuff that you think that that's how they live, that's how life really is. But
Mm-hmm.
even if you look at like Future, even 21 Savage and stuff like that, they like, yeah, no, I don't like do drugs like that anymore. Like they're married, they have kids, like they
Yeah.
many people don't understand that, like, hey, they're not saying that this is the life they live. They're just sharing with you a story about the stuff that they've gone through.
Mm-hmm.
Many of them might even have moved past that. That
Right.
doesn't mean that like they're still doing it, and especially doesn't mean that you should be doing it to get
Correct.
to where you want to be. That doesn't mean that that's like a rite of passage that like, hey, okay, so I gotta sell drugs, do this, do all that stuff to get to like the point of being financially stable, financially wealthy, having freedom of time and stuff like that. I can tell you that
Mm-hmm.
because now I have my own business and I didn't have to do all of that stuff. And it's important for us to get that clarity,
Oh yeah.
especially even if you listen to the Kendrick Lamar album that he dropped. Like, if you don't understand that he's literally just speaking on his own story,
Mm-hmm.
not he's not telling you how to live life. You can have very different outcomes, and you could end
Absolutely.
up behaving in very different ways.
Absolutely.
And it's important to remember what he says, that we um, that he's just sharing his story. He is just telling his truth.
Hmm.
That's it. And what worked for him doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for us. Like, it's important for us
Right.
to know that.
No,
Mm.
absolutely.